Stand by me. Stand by me. Stand by me.
How are y'all doing tonight? Everybody's good? Everybody had a couple of drinks already? Okay, good. That makes my job easier. Good to hear that. All right. Well, let's just get right into it. I want to start off talking about Whitney Houston. I don't know. Great. Yeah, I don't know if y'all heard, but she's actually finally come to her senses, and she's going to be filing for divorce from Bobby Brown. And I'm pretty excited about it, so I'm hoping she gets back to the 80s old school Whitney and leaves that whole crack as whack being Bobby Brown's ex-Whitney behind. Hoping so. But it's going to be tough for her because she's going to be back getting into the dating scene here in Atlanta. It's going to be an experience because here in Atlanta, people play a lot of games and it's a lot of competition. It's really like a sport, dating here, just relationships, period. It reminds me a bit of baseball, because for people who are married here, it's like they've already gone into the major leagues. They've gotten the long-term contract. They've worked out the negotiations. Now they're officially on a team. The rest of us are still trudging it out in the minor leagues. We're still in the dating scene. I'm a vet in the minors myself. So actually, I have a few words of encouragement for Whitney, just a couple things to remember. Number one, realistically, this is Atlanta in 2006, and there's a lot of switch hitters and interleague play going on out there. Man, you got to be aware of it. I just want to let her know. I don't want Whitney or anybody else taking home any bat boys on accident, not realizing. So, the second thing about it is, everybody in Atlanta has their own bullpen. And I know what I'm talking about, of course, is, the second or third relief pitcher that they bring in, they call up whenever the starter doesn't have their best stuff. Everybody does it. Yeah, you do. Let's see a round of applause for anybody who has their own bullpen. Yeah. There should be more, but some of you are here tonight with your reserves, so you just can't say so. I understand. We're here, though. I feel you. Yeah. So, I actually have been working in negotiations on myself with the team. I'm pretty excited about it because they've grown from a small farm team into a major franchise like the Braves or the Yankees. And, since I've been out here so long, I actually have a few tips for those, to keep in mind when you're being scouted by a team. So number one is be able to play your position. For the ladies, that means when your man wants to watch ESPN or the sports, just back off. Let him go ahead, let him watch it. If you really know how to play the game, you're like, baby, won't you go ahead, do your thing. I'll make y'all some sandwiches, you and your friends, you all chill out, you relax. Keep in mind that sacrifice bunts like that, they go a long way. They count in the long run. It shows that you're able to take one for the team, and they're going to keep that in mind when we get further on down the line. Yeah. The second thing you want to do is you want to get the management and you want to get the fan support behind you. Because, that means that, you want to get the family, the friends, if it's a brother, a mother, a family dog, whatever, you want them on your side. Because that way, when the person starts tripping and talking about cutting you from the team, they'll be there to remind you what a valuable player you are and, how the team's going to suffer quite a loss if they were to lose you. So that's crucial. You want the fan support. But like I said, I'm working in negotiations. It's going a little slow, so I actually called up my homegirl because that's my agent. I wanted to ask her, what can I do to go ahead and seal the deal on this team? She was like, well, maybe you should field some other offers from people. Go ahead and put yourself out there as a free agent. So it's not really what I wanted, but I've done it. I've gotten a few calls. I'm not going to lie, it's been a little disappointing. I really wanted a dynasty like the Yankees, and I'm getting calls from like the Arizona Diamondbacks and the Tampa Bay Devil Rays. Not really what I was expecting, but, I'm working with it. So I know I'm talking about the Yankees a lot, and I'm actually from Atlanta, so that's probably wrong, but it's my opinion. That's a really good-looking ball team out there, isn't it? All right, that's what I'm talking about. Derek Jeter, A-Rod, that's some good-looking eye candy. I don't really know anybody else on the team. That's what I look at. But I'm like, George Steinbrenner, that's a smart man. Baseball can get a little slow, so he's thinking about the ladies, giving you something to look at when it's getting kind of boring. I like that. More people need to think like that. But I think one issue that I have with baseball where I think it falls short is in the fact that they have errors. And, when you're in dating, errors are okay. But sometimes people just really cross the line, and you really need a penalty. So, for example, like last month, I'm out at the club. I'm getting my little dance on, I'm doing my thing. I'm out here. All of a sudden, this guy comes up behind me, just starts dancing all up on me. No introduction, no nothing now, just comes up on me. And I'm like, wait a minute, at this time we called for a penalty. So I'm like, illegal contact, $10 drink penalty, replay first down. So, right. So we go to the bar, and he's actually a pretty okay guy. So, I let it go. We talk a little bit. We decide we're going to go out on a date later on in the week. So we were at the video store, picking out a couple of movies. I look over, and this guy's actually in the porno section. This is our first date. So, again, I had to check him, had to break out the flag. Personal foul, unsportsmanlike conduct, players ejected from the game. All right, y'all been a great audience. Thank you.
Keep it going for Melana. Touchdown.